those of you who know, obviously, I do the radio play-by-play for the Thoroughbreds the last 11 seasons. Tagged myself as the voice of the Thoroughbreds. Self-given nickname. I know that's a little corny to do, but it's one of those things where you hear enough guys say it in the business, and you want to do it too. So I decided to do this program called Between the Reins for staff, players, whatnot throughout the Skidmore community that they there's so much to the players that you guys don't see when you watch the games. You see them on the sidelines, you see them, in the game, and you see them after, and you hear my calls, and you hear them when they're doing what they do athletically. But who really knows these people as people, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to do with Between the Reins here, and who was nice enough to come on the show with me for the very first episode was David Bostick. Okay, the head women's basketball coach that has been here now, August of 2024, I believe it was. So, Coach, real quick, there's a couple of things, and we're going to get right into it because, again, we have limited time here on this 1 hour program that we have. And, I have a lot of things that I want to ask. But, Coach, so take us back, August 2024. Skidmore, they came to you. They searched for you. They found you. What made Skidmore the right opportunity?
I think that the ability for high level competition was one of the things that really stuck out for me when looking into Skidmore. I think that they provide all of our student athletes with the ability to succeed both on and off the floor. And that was something that I really wanted to get to in this point of my career. Really offer my student athletes both high level basketball as to go with high level education.
What stood out to you, if you don't mind me asking, about Skidmore? I mean, I know you've been around now, and you've had several opportunities, and you've coached on the Division III level for a while. But Skidmore, I'm sure you got other offers and things like that as well. What stood out to you about Skidmore?
It was really that ability to play a high level basketball. Like some of my previous institutions, I really didn't get a chance to go out and compete against some of the the competition that I'm currently competing against. There's a lot of opportunity here to get to the national level. And I think that Skidmore offers that for our student athletes is to compete on a national level. And, and then my end goal is to be nationally ranked. I want that number next to our name. I want to be.
Of course. Yeah. That's the main goal, I think, for anybody. And you came into a program that was close. Right on the precipice. I believe they had two back-to-back 20-win seasons. They had 32-4 in the Liberty League. I think they were 45-11 overall. You came in, but I think one thing I think you found out real quick, and Coach Turner before you found out quick when she first started as well. Liberty League is a heck of a conference. I mean, it is a difficult conference to be successful.
It's no joke, and I mean, again, that was another thing that really stuck out to me was the fact that every game that you go into, you have to coach. You have to, prepare your team well. You have to make sure that, the execution on both ends of the floor is there. And, just again, that ability to really compete at a high level, both in conference and out of conference.
And that's the program, but the city. So what stood out to you in your impressions of the campus and about the city as a whole in Saratoga when you got here?
I mean, Saratoga itself is a gorgeous area, and upon my first visit here, when I was coming up and really, able to walk around and explore, it was a real homely feeling, right? Mm-hmm. Like you walk around the streets of Saratoga and people smiling and, saying hi. I think the first time I visited Compton's and got me a breakfast.
Yes, cash only though.
Cash only. But first time I visited Compton's, they were really nice, and I got the job. And, hey, coach, welcome to the area. So
visit Caroline Street.
haven't really
no comment.
No comment on that one.
No, but
it was definitely one of those areas that you felt right at home and able to visit some of the shops and meet some of the locals. And, it was really something that I was like, yeah, I can definitely see myself
I
here.
mean, it's definitely a close knit community for sure. For being, I guess, a big town, quote unquote. I mean, I think they even listed as a city,
Mhm.
city of Saratoga. It is definitely tightly knit. It is definitely a city where people will get behind you, and that's part of what I wanted to do with this show. Is if they know you, they see you, they hear you, they're like, wow, okay. I didn't know that about Coach Bostick. That's fantastic, and you might find people and hopefully, if this show works out the way that I want it to, hopefully we'll come to you. Some of the things we talk about here today, they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't even know this about you, Coach. Great, blah blah blah." Just very friendly, very open arms. And I haven't gotten that in a lot of cities. I've been traveling around a lot, doing play-by-play and different things, and I lived in a couple different cities, throughout my media career, and I didn't get that with everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and you typically don't. And I mean, it was actually one of the reasons why I kind of really enjoyed Worcester a little bit. Was because it was one of those places where I got out. I was able to meet people. I was able to ingrain myself into the community, which is something that when I came to Saratoga was something I felt that I could do. I was able to get out and meet a couple of the area coaches and some of the area AAU programs and really just start to get my name out there and let them know that I am, in the area. And, we're trying to really give back to the community and make the community part of our program.
strong AAU programs around here too. A lot of really good talent. In fact, my brother went to Shenandoah.
Mhm.
He played and was in school at the same time as Kevin Herter,
Okay.
who's bounced around the league a little bit and now has the Impact Center down in Clifton Park. That's his I guess want to say lifeblood, his
Family.
little baby
Yep,
down
yep,
there, so that
yep.
he's done. So, and I guess the last thing with the first segment, because I do want to get into you and who you are as a person, as well as your journey here, but I guess it's a double-ended question. So when a program is already winning, as they were, I mean, how do you elevate instead of just maintain that?
I mean, and that's like you said, it's a
It's got to be difficult with recruiting
open-ended
and different
question.
things, and kids leaving, and
Yep,
you
yep.
know,
And again, like you said, the previous coaches had this program, going and trending in the right direction. And, as a new coach coming into that program is definitely I wanted to come in and make sure I maintain that type of understanding that we're still a program that is going to compete at a high level. This year we played probably one of the toughest schedules in the country,
non-conference was insane.
non-conference wise,
Yeah,
and
insane.
again, it was really to put us in position to really compete in this conference, especially understanding that we were going to be a little bit young. And I didn't want our biggest and best competition to be in conference, right? I wanted to make sure that I got some teams in front of us that were really good, some of the comparable to the what we were going to see in the Liberty League, so that once we got to Liberty League play, it was something that was you know wasn't new to us, right? We have been there before.
I think it was what 7 non-conference games, and 5 of them were nationally ranked or close to it,
It was
something like that. So
close to it,
it
close
was
to it.
insanity. And NYU was on there again.
Yep.
I'm like, wow,
Oh,
number
yeah.
one in the nation every year. So, but like you said, they were battle tested, and it got them ready to go. And they've actually been pretty good. For those of you who have been following, or maybe haven't been, but you should have been, they have lost a couple conference games this year. I believe that's 7 overall right now by a combined 15 points. So they're in every game. This is not a Skidmore game that if they lose, they get blown out, which we have seen in the past. But not in your administration, but I'm saying we've seen it. This is a Skidmore team that is they will fight to the end, and I think that says a lot about the coaching too, because you see so many teams at so many different levels that they get down big in a game, or they're not having the season that they wanted, or things have happened within the program, and a team will fold, or they'll be down 20 in a game and just coast through the rest, wanting to get in the shower and go home. Your teams, though, I haven't noticed that. I've noticed your teams will fight to the end. There's been a couple of comebacks this year that have been none I can think of off the top of my head, because I got 10 other things going on in here. But I know that there were a couple that were, you know, pretty masterful in terms of the way that the team fought and battled back. So that leads me into then, as we do the first two segments here, and then we'll get into some background conversation on you. But how would you play? How do you think your players would describe you? Because I'm gonna have them in here, and I'm gonna ask them. So we'll see how this correlates.
Okay. All right. I mean, I truthfully, I think they would describe me as passionate, right? Like
Mhm.
they know that passion for this game and passion for how we play and playing the right way is something that kind of exudes when I'm in practice, when I'm coaching, and I think they would say that they enjoy it. They enjoy coming to
They look like they're having
practice.
fun. Yeah,
They
I
enjoy
do.
coming to practice. They enjoy learning. Even when I get on them a little bit, they'll give me the like, oh man, the wide eyes and he's getting on me, but they know it's coming from nothing but love and respect and me seeing that they have a level that they can get to and trying to get them out of it, get them to their level that I see them at.
I mean, I think you've got strong enough players mentally that know that maybe you got to get on them a little bit in order for them to be successful in the way that you want them to be in the way that they want to be. So I don't see softness in this team really with a lot of these girls out there. So which is good. Always a good thing. And I guess before we get off of Skidmore and get into you, I did have a couple more. Just rattle off some quick questions. What to you? What is for those of you who may not have been following? What does a David Bostick team look like?
I mean, high energy. That's got to be a must.
I mean, again, I know this is for the
Yes,
people who may not know.
like you
Yeah,
have to be a high energy player, and you have to love the game. And when I say love the game, I mean you have to love it when it does not love you necessarily, right? When you're missing those shots, when you are, might not necessarily be playing up to your potential. You have to love it enough to find another way to go to next play to really enjoy being a part of what we're doing even though you might not be contributing in the way that you want to be contributing. And I think that speaks volumes about the players that we have on our team. At times things don't look the way that it's supposed to look, or you're not playing the way that you feel is you should be playing, but you still find a different way. You find a different way to help contribute to the success of the team, and you'll be okay with that.
I know coaches have their own philosophies, but defense or offense first?
I like my defense to lead
Do
into
you? Okay.
offense, right? So,
Yep.
and again, you see us, we play 94 feet for 40 minutes if we need
Yes.
to,
Yep.
and part of that is to really speed up the game. I want the game to, again, be fun, get up and down. Like let's let that defense create that offense. Let's get some steals and, try to get some easy buckets when we can.
You're a basketball guy. You know Mike Krzyzewski. Famous quote: "Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships," and
Absolutely.
that's what we've noticed. I mean, the Skidmore defense has caused fits for a lot of teams this year in the conference, and I've actually had people around the conference that I know that I talked to that kind of dread it a little bit, like, "Oh, geez, we got to play that team," and that's what defense does.
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we want as a team. We don't want anyone that we're playing to feel comfortable and understand what we're going to do that night. We want them to be, to have to really, really prepare for us every single night. And, we want to make sure that we bring it every single night. And the one thing that is that for 40 minutes, we are going to be in our defensive stance. We're going to be 94 feet, and we're going to, make you work for every point that you score against us.
And so far they have done exactly that. Again, you guys can check us out on tomorrow night. Actually, I was thinking it was tonight. No, it's not tonight. Tomorrow night and Saturday. Again, Clarkson and St. Lawrence coming into town. I'll be on the mic as the voice of the Thoroughbreds, calling what would be the final two home games of this year, and hopefully a bid into the Liberty League tournament, and hopefully a home game if we can into the Liberty League tournament. But we'll take a quick break here because I do. Yeah, I do have a segment that I really want to isolate itself to really get to know Coach Bostick, and I think we've thrown a lot at you early here about Skidmore and about his philosophy for Skidmore. So to learn the man and who is behind the face you see on the sidelines, we will get to that. But the last thing before we go into break here, and it's one of those questions that it's it can go either way. Everyone has a different opinion, and it might sound corny or might sound cliche, but the difference between I should say, I should phrase it differently. What separates? What separates a good team from a championship team, in your opinion?
I think the one thing that separates a good team from a championship team is understanding of the game, and again knowing that it's not going to look and be and feel the same every game. And I think that, good teams can play through, great teams can adapt. And I think the adaptation of what the game plan is and what a team is doing um, is a huge part of, changing that good team into a championship team.
Well, there you have it. And again, that is Skidmore philosophy. I mean, it is bred on championships. I've seen Liberty League titles, and I've seen us be in the basement of the division. But I've also seen, I've seen a certain pedigree and a certain culture here. And I think, obviously, Coach Bostick, he's inherited that culture pretty well, especially being relatively new to the Skidmore family here. But we will take a quick break here. We'll, go to the bathroom, pay some bills, whatever we got to do, and then we'll get into who actually are you. Like, where did you come from? What's your background? We want to get into a lot of that, and we'll get into that right after this. These are off. Okay, good. Now, what I want to do that. Your journey to Skidmore and kind of what brought you to the campus and what brought you to Saratoga. But before that, you played at Becker College. It's in well, I know Massachusetts is so strange with their naming. I lived out there for a while, but it's Leicester, I believe is how they said it. It's spelled or Leicester. Was it
It's
Leicester?
Leicester.
It was
It's
Leicester.
Leicester, yep.
That's right. It was spelled Leicester. That's what it
Spelled
was.
Leicester.
I'm thinking of like Leominster
Yeah.
is Leo Minster is how it's
Leominster.
spelled. So
Oh,
real
yeah.
strange out there. But before Becker, even. Well, and actually, you played at Becker, but
Mhm.
you also had a Fitchburg State run
Yes.
as well.
Yes, I did.
So you've been all over the state of Massachusetts. You're also at MCLA. We'll get into that a little bit. So you kind of went from central to Western Mass a lot, but you're not from Mass.
Nope. Originally from New Jersey.
Okay.
I was able to come up to Leicester,
Leicester.
Massachusetts, where I actually attended Becker.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. Yep.
And I did my undergrad at Becker, and
Okay.
it kind of kept me in the Massachusetts area shortly after graduation.
Sure. And for those of you who don't know, Coach Bostick was a 1,000-point scorer at Becker as well. So that's a feat in and of itself at any level. I mean, it's tough at high school. It's definitely tough in college. Doesn't matter if you're D1, 2, 3, whatever. So then you went on and you were an assistant at Becker as well?
Yep. So actually, my first coaching stint as an assistant was
Okay.
for the area junior college, Quinsigamond Community College.
Okay, say that again.
Quinsigamond Community College.
Good old Massachusetts.
QCC. And it was located right there in Worcester. And
Uh-huh.
I was able to be an assistant coach on the men's side there. With at the time he was my assistant coach my senior year at Becker College. And then after I graduated, he actually had the opportunity to go over and coach at QCC. And he asked me if I would come on and be his assistant coach. So,
And the men's or women's side?
on the men's side.
Men's side,
So,
okay.
yeah, so I technically started my coaching career on the men's side.
Okay. And do you notice really a difference between men and women, coaching men and women?
I mean, there are several differences.
Obviously, there's playing
Yeah,
differences,
playing
and the game's a
differences
little
and-
different,
and-
but
and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I really
which you prefer?
I prefer it on the women's side.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a pure game of basketball.
Sure.
I like the X's and O's and
Still the four-quarter format.
Yeah,
Yep.
4-quarter format. So I do prefer the women's side of basketball. But on the men's side, I learned a lot. I learned, about, the X's and O's and making sure, how to execute them, how to teach them, how to really break down different types of defenses is to, really yield the most of your offense.
Well, one thing I found too, doing a little bit of digging, not just a hooper. You're a tennis guy too, huh? Did you play tennis?
I did. I played a little bit tennis. So
Okay.
in college, I was kind of that like utility guy,
Okay,
and
a little bit of
part
everything.
And part of it was because, me coming from New Jersey and, coming to an area where I had no family or
Sure,
anything
sure.
like that. I made sure to kind of put myself in positions to meet different people and do different things. And so, as I was coming up and making friends and stuff like that, I got into tennis again a little bit late, but it was mainly because one of my friends at the time, the Becker had the tennis team and we needed some fill-ins. And so someone was like, hey, can we convince you to come out and learn a little bit of tennis? And so, and then I've never been one to shy away from competition.
So you learned the game.
So I learned the game. They threw me in, and I hated losing. So therefore, if I didn't want to lose, I had to get better.
There's a difference between losing and winning 3 straight conference titles as well, though. Well, which is what you did.
And that was later on. Like, I mean, again, I fell in love with the game.
But eventually, I mean, still 3 in a row.
But 3 in a row.
Yeah,
like
okay.
I was able to, and again, to me, it's coaching. It's being a motivator. It's being someone who can really, take and pull talent out of people. And I was given the opportunity to, again, coach that tennis team and do some recruiting. And again, recruiting is all about, just being a sociable person and getting people to not only fall in love with the school and what you're offering, but, you as a person and understand that, I have the best outlook for you in your future as we're going through this process together.
You check out any tennis here at all? You check out the team at all?
Oh my God!
Pay attention
Listen, I couldn't get on the court with anyone on either team.
I'm not saying you're playing, but I'm saying have you checked out the teams and follow them? And that new facility right next to Williamson on the tennis courts is insane. Yep. I saw that and I was like, wow. Okay, I mean, again, I've been here a long time. I watched it be a parking lot, and then and then I watched it be a childcare center and whatnot, and then I watched it get built up and to what it is now, which is insane. And a lot of that is anchored on the successful tennis program that we have here. But so then you went, and again, if my timeline is off, I apologize. But then you went to MCLA,
yes,
which is it's a Western Mass. I'm sure North Adams, is it? North Adams. There we go. Because there's an Adams and a North Adams.
Yep.
MCLA. Now, what was your stint there? How long did you spend there?
So again, the reason for the trip to MCLA was because Becker unfortunately closed down.
They did, yes. Right? Oh, so this was after the closure of Becker.
Okay. Closure of Becker, which put me on my coaching journey a little bit. Okay. And I was able to get into MCLA, and again, I appreciate them because they allowed me to continue to do what I loved, which was coach the sport. And MCLA was kind of in their rebuild aspect of everything. They had lost their coach previous to COVID, and I was the first coach after COVID. So through that whole time where the world was shut down and things like that, there was a hiring freeze there. And
didn't they just get a famous coach?
They had recently.
I heard that they got somebody. Again, the name is slipping my mind right now, but I heard they got somebody that I had heard of before.
I think it was Will Brown.
Yes, that's what it is. Yep, Will Brown. Is he still there?
No,
he's not. Okay,
he's not. But that allowed me to again continue my coaching journey, especially after something as crazy as really losing your job because of a school closure.
And which I believe, like you said, was really due to the COVID closures, and they just couldn't recover. A lot of schools, unfortunately, on the smaller end. Not that Becker was tiny, but it's not a big university and things, and it is a little bit smaller than even what Skidmore is. Some schools didn't survive that, and it's unfortunate. And I was talking a little bit off the air beforehand with Coach, and it was funny because I actually had a connection to Becker as well, which a lot of people around here don't. The Becker. What's Becker? But my college roommate, shout out Mark Theophil. I don't know if you're listening, but I went to Hartwick College in Oneonta, and afterward he played football, I played basketball. And that's actually how I got into broadcasting. Was I did the radio and everything, and I wanted to do the games. And obviously I couldn't do my own games. I'm out there, so I was like, I'll broadcast football. And then so I kind of got into it with him and rooming with him the last 2 years. He went on to move to Worcester to be the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator at Becker.
Yep.
And so he's like, hey, you want to come do the games out here? And I'm like, 2.5, 3 hour drive. 2 hour drive. To do the games. I'll do it for you. because you're my boy, but it was unpaid, which was tough, because they didn't know me, they didn't know me and everything, and they were like, oh, hey, you're his buddy, let's do it. And then it was funny. Becker actually was like, wow, like we have parents listening, we have people engaged, we have this is great, and then they're like, we want to bring you on full time and the whole thing, and they wanted to put me in the athletics department and all that stuff. And then COVID hit. And then Mark left and everybody left, and it's just so now he's actually the D coordinator back at Hartwick, which is cool. Out in Oneonta, which is another town that I know and love. I was there for my whole 4 years of college, and I go back every once in a while to see it. So I can kind of see what you were saying when it comes to coming into a town and learning the culture and learning. I mean, I know Oneonta like the back of my hand, and I mean, geez, I graduated in 2010. So I still know it and still love it, the way that it is. So I think towns like Oneonta and Saratoga both kind of, they stick with you a little bit. So you did that, and you won actually back-to-back Coach of the Year awards as well. 16 and 18. Which is a nice honor.
And it's a nice honor. And again, I think, again, with
this is basketball, not tennis. Just to be sure. Win 3 straight tennis titles, don't get Coach of the Year, but you win in basketball. Anyway, okay.
So like, I mean, again, I've been really fortunate, in helping rebuild programs and stuff like that. But I think that kind of leads me back to, why Skidmore, and it was a built program. I didn't have to come in and start to rebuild from the ground up. It was here, and I just had to come in and really add my own spin to what we're doing here.
And whereabouts in New Jersey were you from, if you don't mind?
So I'm from South Jersey, from Trenton, New Jersey.
Trenton down, okay, so Pennsylvania border.
So
getting over near Philly.
Right down near Philly. I actually used to live right next to the Trenton.
Hold on. Are we before we continue this? Are you an Eagles fan?
I am an Eagles fan. Fly Eagles fly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna cut this interview short. We'll see. No, it's okay. I will forgive you this one time. I don't know if you saw my keychain holder and my stuff, but I have my wallet right here. I know I am diehard Dallas Cowboy, so I'll forgive you.
We have a saying in my household about Dallas, but
you can't say it on the airwaves, at least during the daytime, right?
During the daytime.
Okay. Well, it's. I mean, I'm not hating on them. They're a competitive team and everything, but so all Philly sports then.
Yes.
All Phillies. Yes. So Phillies and Flyers.
And Sixers.
Okay.
Used to visit Vet Stadium all the time.
Oh, that stadium was terrible.
That was
such an old dumpy stadium.
It's near and dear to my heart. Like
I bet,
able to get out to a couple games at the Vet.
They had the old AstroTurf and the whole.
I love it.
Philadelphia, man, that's wild. So you still have any ties to Philly at all? You still linked to?
So, I mean, again, my family's still in New Jersey.
Oh, they're down that way still? Okay.
Family's still in New Jersey. So, I go down there every now and then for, Christmas and Thanksgiving.
You guys try to book any tournaments or anything down that way so you can go see them?
Not
they
yet.
Come to the games or something?
The closest we've been so far has been NYU. So, like,
that is, it's not too far, I guess.
It's not too far away from there. But,
I went in October. I was in Jersey, different side of Jersey. I'm obviously being a Cowboys fan. My dad's a Jets fan.
Okay.
Poor guy. Yeah, he's from Long Island. That's what they had back then. And I've been to a couple Cowboys Jets games now in the Meadowlands. Okay. Which is a little bit different.
East Rutherford.
Yeah, it's a little different than it is down in South. I have had a couple. I'm not going to say what, but I've had some time in Atlantic City, but I've also had some vacations in Cape May.
Okay.
So I'm kind of familiar with South Jersey a little bit in that regard. I know Trenton's a little bit west of that, off the water, but still that's the South Jersey feel to it. So coming from South Jersey, then, what was it? A culture shock to you a little bit getting to Massachusetts?
Oh yeah, big.
Because it's big difference out there,
especially going from Trenton, New Jersey to Leicester, Massachusetts. Where,
a tiny town, like small town,
tiny town. There were cows everywhere.
Around it, yeah. Worcester's a city.
Worcester was more,
but it's not
city type.
It's not Philadelphia or Trenton, It's the second, believe it or not, second biggest city in New England.
Yeah, I know.
Which is crazy, but it's Worcester, and I've had my times in Worcester as well. I'm not gonna get on and trash anywhere on the airwaves, but I've had some issues in Worcester.
Okay.
I actually I'll tell you one, and this could happen anywhere. This is nothing about Worcester,
Yep.
nothing about not disparaging the city at all. But back when Mark, I told you I lived in Worcester, my roommate, um, this is back in the days of the TomTom Garmin.
Okay.
GPS, they didn't have everything on your phone,
Yep.
and I pull in, and he didn't live in the best area, but it was cheap,
Yeah.
and so he was actually right down the road from WPI, so
Okay.
it wasn't too far.
Yeah.
And come in, get there late at night. I think it was Super Bowl weekend. I'm not sure, something like that, because I used to go out there for Super Bowl a lot. And I'm sitting there, and all is good, not thinking anything. We went out to eat. We walked everywhere because he was close by some restaurants and things. I come out the next morning to go home, and my window is smashed out.
Oh, yeah.
And my Garmin is gone. And this was before the days of your phone. I had still a flip phone at this time. So I had to go to like a MapQuest. I had to go to MapQuest and then go to like a Kinko, something printed out, and follow the directions, holding the directions on my phone with a blown out window all the way back here to the Capital District. So that's what I remember about Worcester.
Okay.
But I do know that there are a lot of great schools in the area.
Yes,
Holy Cross
yes.
is there, WPI,
Absolutely.
Becker, Assumption's out that way.
Yeah.
So I do know Massachusetts is known for having great schools. So I will give them that.
Especially in that Worcester area, right? We were really all part of the
Boston Metro and Worcester, both that little circle.
Yep, and we had a school of consortiums, is what they call it. And,
Okay.
we all used to, again, go to each other's events, which made Worcester, especially during school time, class time, really feel like a college town. So it was good.
You haven't really had to deal too much, I don't think, anyway, at least at this level, with the whole transfer portal thing.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you feel about it on the D1 level? I mean, college athletics now on the D1 level is it's almost, it's like it's free agency almost.
Absolutely, I think I think the transfer portal definitely has its advantages. But as you said, for me as a D3 coach, which again I love the fact that I don't really have to deal with the transfer portal as much. I think that there is some things that still need to be worked out, some kinks that need to be worked out. Again, I do understand the premise behind it, but I think that as with anything that's kind of new and things like that, there just needs to be some more things worked out when it comes to transferring in the transfer portal.
Yeah, D3, I think you still have to sit, don't you? I believe if you
D3
transfer,
or D3, you don't.
you can play immediately.
Yes.
So
D3.
if somebody would have played 2 games with you in November and then want to go to another school and they play another school same season they can play?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's different on a bunch of levels on different things. So and I know the men's team has a couple transfers that come in. I believe they have going to be from Loyola.
Yeah.
I believe it is. They
think
came
that was-
down.
yeah.
So and again, things are slipping minds. I know him. I've seen him all the time. He's number 11. But so I guess we ought to take one more quick break, and then I have the last kind of rapid fire for you here in the last
Sounds
20
good.
minutes, because I know you've got practice coming up pretty soon. Big Green Scream weekend, which is a huge weekend for everybody involved. It's like homecoming for basketball, really,
Absolutely.
is what it is.
What a great event. What a great event.
Oh, it's amazing. And obviously Senior Day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be emotional for you?
Yeah,
Is it always emotional?
It's you know what? It's always emotional. Even last year with my seniors that left last year, like I couldn't have done it without.
But
them,
the thing is with them is you came in, they were somebody else's team.
Yeah.
That was another coach Turner had recruited them. They kind of were just getting to know you. Now you've had a full year with these new incoming seniors, a full off season, full everything.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it might get a little bit more. And down the road, once you bring in the freshmen that you recruit and they become seniors, that's gonna be tough.
It's just gonna be it's always emotional. Again, like I say, even with those, like once it became my team, those became my kids. It did not matter. And we really were able to create a bond and create a lasting bond. I mean, they came back. A lot of them came back for alumni, and it was just again, just to have them back in the gym was just so great to see.
And last thing before we go on a quick break here, because again, my rapid fire, I call it fourth quarter free throws. I think you'll like that. But I got my rapid fire coming in here. But this, just the last thing. I know that obviously you've had a lot of success. We've talked a little bit about your successes, your coach of the year, your conference championships, NCAA tournament appearance, overall winning record. You've been successful here. I mean, tennis championship. We've talked about you being successful on all levels of coaching in different sports. But with every success comes adversity. What was your hardest coaching year, and what was something that was hardest for you as a coach?
Man, I mean, I think my hardest coaching year, um, it truthfully had to be the year that I won the championship.
Oh, really?
And it was hard not because of adversity necessarily, but it was hard
Yeah.
because that was a team that was very talented, and we had 18 people on that roster. And when I looked down my bench, all of them could have contributed in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
But at the same time, we can only play five at a time,
Well, yeah.
you know?
Okay.
And so trying to manage those emotions, try to manage their expectations, and just being, just keeping us together cohesively as a team to, again, ultimately win that championship. I mean, yes, we won the championship, but it was probably like the hardest coaching aspect because there was so much talent on that team, but not everybody could play.
And that is a player's coach right there. I mean, the hardest thing I was thinking it was like a bad loss that you suffered or a bad, but no, it's player's coach right there. He felt bad that he couldn't play all of his players. So again, for those of you who watch Skidmore, or if you're listening, or if you're one of the players listening before practice, that's a player's coach right there. He really shows that he loves who he gets to work with. So again, real quick, because I do know we're up against it here. It's about 4:45 or so. So yeah, we'll get right back into it with some fourth quarter free throws right after this. But yeah, so yeah. See, the thing that sucks about it is having to be. Yeah, having it be an hour is a lot to cover.
Yeah, you could cut. I mean, again,
Well, no, I mean it's not enough.
Yeah.
Because I tend to be a little long-winded. But take what we can do with it, and then I'm gonna polish it up, edit it, put some cool stuff in there, and I'll probably have it up either on YouTube or some sort of hosting, because unfortunately they don't have it on. Uh, yeah, unfortunately they don't have put it up on Facebook. But unfortunately they don't have any way to record it through here. Yeah, which is off right. Okay, kind of a order setup. I think that if they add more, if they were like my whole family said everybody went. I'm the only member of my family to go to Syracuse. Okay, and that's just because I want to play ball and I want the right qualifications to play at Syracuse. The new house school. It's saying they're all about their state of the art facility. It looks like a city is like some show. But obviously a small school like this, a student run and everything. So but I think get used to it, especially since I've see this purple light here. Yeah. When you come in, if you have a nighttime show, you turn these off. You're sitting here, you're vibing and music, talking. You have the purple light back on. So, but I was gonna do video, okay, but I didn't. I don't think I hit record. But okay, I hit record on the audio. Yeah, and eventually I'll start doing videos on them. But I just know some people are. So what I'll do is for the second time, for this last fourth quarter free throw spot, I'll put that in. Okay. And we got 10 minutes. Where are my fourth quarter free throws? This is rapid fire. Like I said, you're a guinea pig. Down the road, it's gonna be a lot more polished. Let's go. A lot more polished. Skidmore ranked ninth academically. Yeah. 1, 2. There we go. Fourth quarter free throws. Dave Matthews, they come every year to spec. I heard that. Every year for the last 20 years, they've become a spec. See, the only thing about reason why I wish I had headphones was I could turn this down and the mic up, and I could turn the mic on and still hear this and turn that down instead of having it. As soon as I hit this mic, that's gonna cut. So it's just but I mean, it's still playing. It's just. So for those of you who are familiar with the Saratoga area, little Dave Matthews, a staple of the Saratoga community, especially in the summertime, comes every summer. One of the biggest parts of the Saratoga summer has been the Dave Matthews Show. Have you been over to SPAC at all yet?
No, I haven't had a chance to get over there yet. I mean, it's summertime, so a lot of times I am on the road doing some recruiting. You know, that's
Summertime. It makes sense.
Heavy recruiting time for me. So
yeah, you gotta go see a show at some point at SPAC. It's an outdoor amphitheater venue. So they have all the lawn seats. So you got your inside, and then obviously the whole lawn.
Okay.
And the lawn goes all the way back into the state park. And it's a pretty cool experience. But again, recruiting is probably more important than spending money on a concert. So what we've got here, and this is the last segment, and again, Coach Bostick here is my guinea pig, and I appreciate that. But one thing I want to do with everybody that I bring in is something called fourth quarter free throws. And I know that the men's staff, they're a little bit like, we play two halves. We're not four quarters. So maybe I'll call it second half free throws or something different for them. But for fourth quarter here, it's going to just be rapid fire, quick answers, no overthinking. Okay. It's just first thing that comes to mind about a lot of different topics. I won't hit you with too many though, because I don't want to overwhelm you. But favorite basketball movie?
He Got Game.
Okay. I like that one. I like. See, I watch more football movies than basketball movies.
All right.
And I obviously remember the Titans and things was great. But okay, so He Got Game's a good one. I like White Man Can't Jump because it reminds me of me. So
not a bad choice.
One word that defines your coaching style.
Energetic.
Okay. Toughest Liberty League road gym.
Union.
Okay. Is Union? Are they still? I haven't been down there in a while. Are they still running on the rubber court?
No.
Okay, they got a new court.
Brand new court.
Do you know which one I'm talking about? Have you seen?
I have not. I haven't seen that one.
You heard about it though, right?
I've heard about it. I've only been.
It was like a gray court.
No,
Union stuff though.
Yep, Union stuff.
See, I would think, and again, I've been in the new Union gym, but I would think it was Vassar. Just because the big track up around the top. It's like you go into Vassar's gym and look at the YMCA in there. Yeah. So, okay, but Union, that's just, we're going to write that down, Union, so I'm not going to have them overthink it.
It just has like this opening in the back of a court that really changes your depth perception for a jump shot. So, like.
Syracuse fans get that a lot too with shooting in the dome. Yeah. You have a pregame ritual at all? Anything you do, superstition pregame that you have to do every single time?
Yes, I have to. Put on, it's a music thing. I gotta listen to some music before the game. Listen to music and go for
same songs, same. Like you have a pregame playlist.
I have a pregame playlist.
Okay, all right. So you switch it up. It's not just like I feel like this today. You got this is what you got to do.
Pregame playlist.
I had a couple things like that too when I played that I absolutely had to do it. It's kind of like free throws, muscle memory. You do the same thing every time and you get used to it, and then if you don't do it, it throws you all off. So I get that. This doesn't have to be about basketball. Okay. Just best advice you've ever received.
Always go to the next play.
Okay, and that's in life too.
In life too. Always go to the next. Like control what you can control, and always be ready for the next.
Coffee or energy drink?
Neither, actually.
Neither. You strike me as a healthy guy.
Yeah, neither. Yeah. Neither. I am.
Do you have any kind of stimulant at all? Or are you just naturally energetic?
Just naturally energetic.
Naturally energetic. Okay. Yeah. We talked defense or offense in the first, but just for the purpose of these free throws, defense or offense is what you prefer.
So again, my teammates who played with me would tell me offense, but
1,000-point score, I'd say so.
As a coach, it is defense.
Definitely defense. What is tougher to really to coach and nail down, a successful offense or a successful defense?
A successful offense is tougher to nail down, right?
Okay.
And again,
motions and screens and pick and rolls.
I think that is because I think a lot more understanding goes into a lot more reads go into offense.
You don't see it much on this level. How do you feel about the zone defense?
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it?
I don't mind it. I think I think it gives it gives some stability to it gives some stability to like a team
to a
that's running it.
defense,
Yeah,
or if
to a
you're running.
defense,
Okay.
exactly.
But it's not good if you're playing a 3-point shooting team, though.
Yes,
And
yeah,
we found that out being Syracuse fans, found that out the hard
yeah,
way.
yeah.
And I guess last thing here, and then I'll let you
But again,
go.
they did win a national championship playing the zone, so
They
did.
did, but they also had. I would list him as a top 10 player all time
Yeah.
in Carmelo.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't want to go too high with that
That did
one,
help.
but not number one basketball. Okay, I'm just gonna make one up here that I didn't have pre-written. Then number one basketball player of all time.
Well, for me, it's MJ.
It's got okay.
Got to be.
I'm happy you said MJ. I was giving you a pass on the Eagles, but if you didn't say Michael Jordan, I was going to be very upset because the things that MJ used to do were insane.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kobe was great too.
Yes, absolutely.
But I've had a lot of debates with people, especially the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron Jordan,
Yeah.
and obviously, our demographic is going to say. It's going to say Jordan.
Michael.
You have to.
Yeah.
Just the dude was insane.
Yeah.
And I guess, I guess the next, the last question, and it is a fourth quarter free throw, but it's a little bit more in depth. Not necessarily the first thing right off the top of your head, but what should the Skidmore community expect from you, to the program, to the players, to just if you've never been to a Skidmore game before, and you've never been on campus before, and it's your first time coming to the gym, and you say, you know what, we don't have anything going on today. Let's go watch the Skidmore basketball team play tonight. What should they expect coming in, watching a Skidmore? And we'll do women's because you're the women's basketball coach. What should they expect coming in to see a women's basketball game?
I think they should expect a group of individuals all playing for the same goal, to enjoy and be privileged of playing at a high level at a great institution, with high energy and absolute respect for the game and what it can do for you both on and off of the court. I think that they will see a family type of atmosphere who plays with smiles on their face and compete at a high level for 40 minutes.
I do actually have a quick one. I know I said last one, but I tend to do this a lot.
Yeah.
What guy I know I can nail down something that made me want to get into broadcasting.
Okay.
I can nail down a particular moment or a particular person or a particular play. Okay, and ironically, I'm here doing the thoroughbreds, and it was actually horse racing calls that got me into it initially, which is kind of cool because I started listening to horse race calls, and then I guess you could call it horse race. I'm still calling thoroughbreds, but not in the same way I guess wanted to when I was a kid. But what made you fall in love with the game of basketball from a young age?
I think it was the competitiveness, the learning, the sense of family that you just created simply by wanting to get better at this game. I think that at a young age, being out on a basketball court, just shooting around and then just having 10 random people just show up and you guys get on the court and start playing, and I think that is one of the things that really made me fall in love with basketball, is the fact that it was something that could bring us together, simply by just being at the same place and wanting to play the same sport.
You're a big street ball fan?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's where I started.
So when they say ball don't lie, what that means.
Ball
right?
don't lie.
And I've actually said that.
You can't say that these days, though.
Well, I was going to say I've said that on some broadcasts actually, where Skidmore may have gotten a call that they didn't like, and I'm never one to question the refs. For those of you who have heard, but whenever something good happens to us on the other end, I'm always like, oh, you know what? I guess ball don't lie for anybody who's played in the rec league. Yeah. So again, I am here with Coach David Bostick. We're up against it, about out of time here, but Skidmore, as of right now, for those of you following Liberty League and going into this weekend, Skidmore is not on the outside looking in. They're firmly in right now, but of course they need to win for their conference tournament. They play Clarkson tomorrow evening, St. Lawrence on Saturday afternoon on Valentine's Day. for the Big Green Scream game. Right now, if the season were to end today, it would be Union hosting the whole thing, Union and RIT getting a bye, RPI St. Lawrence hosting, and Vassar and Skidmore on the road. Now, you were you. I don't know if you'll necessarily be able to catch Vassar. I would love to host a Liberty League game so that Saturday's not my last game broadcasting, unless, of course, you guys would like me to come down and do a road game. But that's not your call. That's the staff's call and whatnot. But that's where they sit right now. They're 9-12, 7-7 overall, and again, 7 non-conference games that were just brutal. They've had a very good, I think, very successful run in the Liberty League in a tough conference. I say all the time on broadcast, between us and the NESCAC, probably the top 2 athletic conferences, at least on the East Coast anyway, for Division III.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just ridiculous. Both of those conferences are insane. And and again, Skidmore right now, if the season would end today, they'd be in the Liberty League tournament. So hopefully, we can switch that up a little bit, knock Vassar St. Lawrence down a peg, go on the road, finish on the road, win those 2, get some help, and who knows, we may hear my voice again after this weekend on your airwaves. So once again, voice of the Thoroughbreds, Chris McSwiggins, is going to be signing off here with you. My first one, and hopefully not my last one, but my first one here, Coach Bostick. So again, thank you for stopping by and making us part of your afternoon. And hopefully you guys, I know it's only an hour. It's not a whole lot of digging deep that we were able to do, but hopefully you guys get to know Coach a little bit better. And hopefully for those of you listening, you can come see us this weekend as we play Clarkson and St. Lawrence. Now, I want him to come see. I want him to come see the game.
Absolutely.
But I also want him to listen to the game. So bring headphones, watch the game, watch him coach, and listen to me call it. That's a win-win for everybody.
There you go.
So once again, Coach Bostick, this is Between the Reins, and we'll see you next Thursday from 4 to 5. Can't tell you the guest yet. Surprise.
Go.
All righty.